It's time to go and explore another island. Hello everyone, it's SK95. Welcome back to more Pokemon LeafGreen. Last time, we got to 4 islands and explored the island as well as going to Icefall Cave, helping L'Oreal defeat Team Rocket. And this time though, we've heard that they need to be found somewhere else. So in that case, we're going to actually head off the island. So I'm going to go back to Pokemon Center because I completely forgot. I still have that Lapras in my party and I don't need Lapras right now. You're not going to need a Pokemon for HMing for a while. Frankly honest, I have to go and get a Pokemon cut later, but I'm not exactly concerned by that. So let's go and get Glimmer back out and get rid of Lapras off the team because I don't need it. So there is that. And also, I made a mistake in the last episode. I completely and utterly messed up on the fact that Waterfall was introduced in Gen 1. Man, you all know about the editor's note, and I already know I definitely failed that one. But besides that though, let's go to the next island and whoops. This is what happens when I get impatient, now don't I? Alright, we're on 5 Island, which is admittedly one of the smallest of the islands. So, let's actually check out the area. Oh, this stinks. I wanted to play in the meadow, but they put a weird building on it, so I can't play there. Odd. Coral Island, where time goes. Go to this house over here first. This old man here is walking around. That meadow has long belonged to our family for generations. I should have had a giant mansion built on it. It would be preferable to having those thugs run wild on it. Well, Team Rocket does say outright that their warehouse was there, so we might want to stop them. And there's also another one over here. This house has a lady all the way to the right corner, top right corner. Care about buying anything for dinner tonight? That's what my husband said when he went out fishing today. I'm not sure if I can count on him to live up to that promise. I don't know if you would, but honestly, I don't care. But he's right here. I've been getting busier around these parts lately. I haven't been catching many good fish lately either. So, now that I know that, let's go try to find Team Rocket's dang warehouse instead. In 5 Island Meadow, there are actually some new Pokemon. In fact, there is quite a lot of new Pokemon. However, Cut is required for certain areas, so I'm going to actually go back and grab Cut, because apparently I need to have Cut no matter what. Man, I really wish I could just not use an HM Slave. To be fairly honest, though, it's my own dang fault, and I will frankly admit outright that I'd rather make sure I have everything needed and not have to go run back repeatedly. Thankfully, the Parasect exists to do HM Slaving, and I already have no reading for Tank right now, so I'm going to let Tank go in the PC again and let him just sit there for a bit. There we go, and then let's go and go back to where that was, because unfortunately you can't run in Pokemon Centers until later games. Yep, that was not fun. Anyway, 5 Island Meadow, let's go and grab this item first. I want to talk about this item first before we talk about the wild Pokemon you can find on this route. Frankly honest, I'd rather do that. A Max Potion, decently helpful, especially given the fact that Max Potion fully heals the HP. And there are new Pokemon on this route. First being the Pokemon known as Hoppip. It is a Johto Pokemon that is a grass and flying type. Yeah, I already see the problem with that one. Grass and flying is a terrible type combination, especially given the fact that grass flying is quad weak to ice, and it's also weak to rock, which is normally effective with it. Not only that, the only best that Hoppip really gets outright when it fully evolves is the ability of speed, but that's besides the point, and honestly, I forgot to talk about trainers here. Here's also the level, it's on out! And back to what we were doing and talking about again. Hoppip is very generic, it's just really fast, it doesn't exactly have many options when it comes to IHP and attack moves. Yeah, I can't exactly say anything good about Hoppip because of its dang leaf pool being so shallow in this game. It is a fast grass type, I guess, if you want a fast one. But honestly speaking, by the time you get the level up, it's not exactly good because all the Pokemon you find are new. Their levels are super low, I'll be perfectly honest. Hoppip you get at level 15 at best. Yeah, that is a trade-off and not exactly wanted. So yeah, not exactly going to worry about it too much. The last new Pokemon you can find more commonly is Sentret, which is a normal type, very generic, and it's painfully generic. It's similar to Hoppip in the same situation, except it doesn't exactly have the best time when doing damage, and its dang abilities are also garbage. This of Hoppip, Chlorophyll makes sense, but with Sentret and then its evolved form Floret, it's just Runaway or Keen Eye. You literally don't have an option when it comes to moves, and it's frankly one of the most disappointing Pokemon in the game because of that reason. And I will be bluntly honest that it's just one of the more tragically weak Pokemon when you want to get into it, and frankly honest, I don't care for it. Besides that, though, there is another Pokemon you can find by fishing with a Super Rod at 40% for Fire Red players, a Pokemon known as Quillfish. It's not until later games that Overquill exists, so unfortunately you are not going to get access to a very powerful Pokemon. Instead, you have a very generic Water Poison type, painfully average stats, high physical attack, and very good speed. But the problem with that is physical water is terrible, so all the damage you're going to be doing is basically poison type damage and nothing else. Yeah, I'm not kidding. That's exactly why I don't exactly prefer that Pokemon, and to be bluntly honest, I would not recommend it. For LeafGreen players, you get access to Pokemon known as Remoraid. You see these Pokemon around Pokemon like, say, Mantine and whatnot. But this Pokemon in particular is quite useful because this Pokemon also evolves, like, I guess decently fine. It doesn't evolve very long. But it's just level-wise, when you get it, it's around the best at level 25, so you can't exactly get the level up faster. So, unfortunately, Remoraid doesn't see much use. Although the odd thing about it is, once it evolves, it becomes, instead of a fish, it becomes an octopus. I don't know why, but Pokemon make no logical sense. So, besides that, though, I can't say it's good enough because, while it is great when it comes to a fully evolved to the Pokemon Knowledge Octillery, it doesn't get any speed when it levels up. In fact, it actually slows down when it evolves and gains more offense. That's pretty much the only thing it gains is positive. Yeah, I can't exactly recommend this Pokemon due to the fact that nature, and it's not exactly a recommended Pokemon choice for me. So, now that we're done talking about the Pokemon on the route, and frankly all the fishing Pokemon you can find around here, so this is more Team Rocket Grunts. You'd be wasting time if you were to get by me. Yeah, we only find male grunts. This is a female grunt. Very out of place, right? No. Really, this is the first time that female grunts will exist in this game, and that's pretty much it. Although their levels are 10 times better than the ones you found before, honestly, the levels in the one in Icefall Cave are terribly tragic and terribly bad. I wouldn't exactly recommend it, and the level output is pretty terrible. So, besides that, though, this is just a very generic, boring fight. Honestly, I wish I had talked about the Pokemon in the bios in these fights, because they have nothing to talk about, and they're generally a very pointless thing. We still need to get the password in order to get through. So, we need to just take care of this trainer, and we're done with this Team Rocket Grunt. Thankfully, though, we're leveling up very quickly for Drag. Honestly speaking, even though people will say Dragon Rage. Okay, Dragon Rage is basically a 40 power move no matter what, and it basically does 4 damage no matter what, and it's good for catching Pokemon, but in damage-wise, Dragon Cloud classes it, so no, I'm not going to teach this to Drag. No, thank you. And another Gloom. Whoop-de-freaking-do. I don't exactly have a care for Gloom, to be honest. I also forgot to talk about the fact the split evolution that you get with Gloom. Once you have a Sunstone, you can evolve into Bellossom, but that's version exclusive to Fire Red. So I can't exactly talk about it. The only thing that really stands out right is the fact that stats just change more special defensive than anything else. Yeah, not exactly a very good Pokemon. I can't exactly recommend it. So besides that, there's one more trainer here. Also should recommend outright. These Team Rocket Grunts are missable. So if you don't fight them all, you basically never see them again. So this Team Rocket Grunt here, there's nothing past here except our warehouse. So what brings you here? What do you think I'm here for? Your warehouse. Duh. Sadly, though, every single one of them either has 2 or 3 Pokemon. Sadly, Coughing is not exactly a very good Pokemon. Until it becomes Wheezing, where it becomes a physical defensive wall, but besides that point, I can't exactly say good things about Coughing. To be honest, it's very generic. And, funny enough, though, if in the anime, if it gets fire in its thing, you know, holes where it's spewing like poison, it blows up. I'm not kidding. It's a weird thing. So, yeah, we're just sweeping around this area. Honestly speaking, this is very easy. Although, I wish it didn't do that, because now I have a chance at missing. Darn it! I haven't used Blast Burn yet, but the thing is, I can't trust it while my accuracy is lower, and yep, I was right not to trust it. You gotta be kidding me. There is no non-missing fire move in any game, I'll be perfectly honest. Stop using Smoke Screen! You used it 3 times by now. Come on, Wheezing. Will you connect? Oh my goodness. You used it 4 turns now. My accuracy is basically the low it can possibly be. You know what? I'm done with this. I am seriously done with this. I do not care. I'm just gonna just glimmer and just decide to destroy you because I don't care anymore. Just get out of here with your stupid nonsense of smoke screening everyone at every point. Honestly speaking, the only way to stop this smoke screen nonsense is if you have a Pokemon with clear body, and Sadly speaking, I don't have clear body. Thankfully though, one smoke screen I'm not exactly gonna miss. Thank goodness! Dang it, Drag, I thought you were gonna knock it out, but sadly could not. That wasn't supposed to happen. No, it was supposed to happen. Therefore, you lose. Game over, sir. If you're wanting to know what's inside of this warehouse, you better if you didn't know. For your own sake, I mean. Just go to the right canal, enter the password. Go to need log, and another password is needed to open the door. Yep. You need 2 passwords, and the other password is found on another island. So let's go explore the 5 island while we're around here. There's actually an item on the other side of the warehouse. This item is a PP up. Very good to have, especially for moves that are low PP. So, yeah, I probably have a lot stockpiled, and to be honest, I probably should use them. So, I was wrong with the whole Lapras situation. There was no Lapras sprite except for Gen 2, and then later. And, yeah, Hoppip can be found while surfing. Sadly, though, the levels are so low on the Hoppip that I can't even say anything good about it. So, besides that, though, we want to go to Memorial Pillar, because it's actually quite an important area. There's actually items hidden around the area as well. This Bird Keeper here is not exactly going to be doing much, so I'm going to use Sparky and just obliterate him. Not exactly concerned about it. Honestly, I'll cut this fight out if I don't need it. I'm the eldest of the Bird Brothers. The best thing about birds, it has to be the beak. I mean, there are some Pokemon that have sharp beak. As an item, basically increases the power of flying type moves. I'd recommend it, but at the same time, not exactly a good thing. Also, he has a 47 Pidgeot when it should have been on Pidgeot already. To be perfectly honest, I would prefer the Pidgeot because it's more experience for me, but besides that, though, yeah, level-wise, not exactly good. So, is there anything really to talk about this area? Not really. Civilian Islands is kind of like a short area, or rather can be short if it wants to be. I don't really have many fond memories of Civilian Islands as the first time I did this. Honestly speaking, I feel like it was kind of a drag down at that point when I was first playing the game. To be perfectly clear, some of them are fun ideas, like you can find a certain Pokemon around here, but you can also find other things as well, but I didn't really fully explore it. And to be honest, I will be doing all of it, so thankfully though, we'll actually be exploring every bit of it. So let's go here and get a Raspberry. Very nice to have, but not exactly something I'd recommend. There is another Bird Brother, although we got caught into a random battle again with a Hoppip. Singing encounter rate for Hoppip is way too high for me to even remotely care, and to be perfectly clear, I don't like it. Ay, ay, ay. Thankfully though, let's get out of this battle and not have to worry about this too much. Bird Brother, you are the village kid of the Bird Brothers. The best thing about birds, it has to be the wings. So there's a first brother around here somewhere because we've already found 2 of the 3. Chaz it up. Chaz it up. Okay. Opposite series, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Okay, that's honestly, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid. I do look back at old shows I used to watch and just rewatch them for the sake of nostalgia and whatnot. I'm pretty sure all of us have done this at this point, where we basically watch old cartoons, old shows we watched as a kid, and then you found what things were enjoyable about it, find adult humor in kids shows for no reason. I don't know why some shows have that. Well, SpongeBob's a very good outlier for that. Besides that, though, I liked my TV shows growing up, but later on in the years, I pity every new generation person because it kind of got bad shows. Flap, flap. No comment. Okay, so let's get that item here because I think it's another berry. Yes, it is. It's a citrus berry. One of the best berries in the game for, well, HP. That's the highest level Hoppip I think I've seen all day. They sigh. Bulk berry. Not exactly needed. And honestly, I don't think I like it that much. The last of the brothers. Come here. The youngest of the Bird Brothers. The best thing about birds, it has to be the down. The down is, well, a different part of the bird's body. I wouldn't exactly say it's a good part, but whatever. Harold is sending out Hoodoos. This is a flying type from Johto. It's technically considered based on an owl. Yeah, it's kind of good Pokemon. Honestly speaking, in terms of Pokemon stats, Hoodoo is considered a special defensive wall. So, it can be good special offense and special defensive, but it's not known for physical offense. As a result of that, most of the time that you ever learn Hoodoo and its evolved form, Noctowl, for example, like he's sending out one right now, they are known for using more psychic type attacks, use moves like Hypnosis and Green Meter to keep constantly getting their HP back up. It's more of the same. Honestly speaking, Hoodoo and Noctowl are quite dangerous, although I don't know why you use Takedown, because now you just knock yourself out. Yeah, no, Takedown is a move that most Pokemon usually get, especially normal types, but I don't like that much. Down is so comfy, it makes me drowsy. Well, the Hoodoo probably hypnotized him entirely because that's how Hoodoo works and operates. on the standard of we want to hypnotize our trainers. So let's go down this one area, and there's actually more. Well, the path has, well, nothing more here. Well, this person here. Scrub. Hello, your Pokemon look healthy. This is where I buried my Onix. It was named Tectonics. I got Tectonics, I raved on the boulder. There's a lemonade place in front of the grave. I will be cutting back in a second. Be right back. On the way back, Sparky to level 56. That's pretty much all I had to say about it. Nothing really changes. I had to return back because I completely forgot I didn't have a lemonade in my inventory. Let's pay our respects to the Tectonics. Here's the Tectonics is a grave in the boulder. There's a lemonade placed as an offering in front of the grave. Would you like to leave another lemonade as an offering? I would. There's a can of lemonade in front of the grave. Thank you. That was my Tectonics' favorite drink. I don't even know you, but your act of kindness uplifted me a little. Could you please take this as my thanks? Obtained TM42. It contained, please go to your Pokemon too. This move is known as Facade. Facade is a unique move that boosts in power if your Pokemon is suffering from a status condition. Really useful to have, especially on later games where, say, Pokemon like Norman's dang slacking gets poisoned and it just gets one-shots everything in the game. That's my PTSD from Facade. And there's also a Metal Coat here, which he's talking about an Onix. Metal Coat would evolve it into a Steelix. Yeah, Steelix is much more defensive than Onix, and it hits far harder, but besides that, though, not really many good things to say about that Steelix. Honestly, it's not. Let's get back to Five Islands main area and get a new Pokemon out because we're going to need to do this. I'll be frankly honest, you're going to need to. So, besides that, though, it's not easy. So we actually want to put our Pokemon back in the PC storage. My reasoning for this is that there's no reason for me to have Cut or Rock Smash anymore, so I'm actually pretty much fine. Let's deposit that dang Parasect. And I need to have one slot open. The only reason I need one slot open is simple. So, let us go and get over here and get this all the way over. Now, shall we? Yes, quite. Going north of this route of Mount Five Islands main path is Water Labyrinth. There's a lot of Water Pokemon trainers to a certain degree, but not exactly that many to worry about too much. So, besides that though, there's a labyrinth. You basically can get trapped here if you really aren't careful, and you can get turned around a lot. Sadly though, the most of the one you can find the most surfing is very generic Hoppip, Tentacle, or Tentacruel. Yeah, surfing doesn't exactly make many Pokemon there at all. I'll be perfectly honest, the labyrinth can be very convoluted and confusing, and I even barely remember it off the top of my head. So, another Hoppip showed up again. Honestly, at least they're higher level than 10, but still, not exactly something I want to care about. There's something at the end of this labyrinth that we need to take care of and grab. This old man here is quite important. Remember when Blue was our rival was talking about? You traveled all the way over the place, don't you? You're not driving your Pokemon too harshly, are you? Let me take a look. Oh, impressive, you treat your Pokemon right. I think you can be interested in this. Please, I'd like you to have this. Received an egg from the man. I received that egg while I was traveling. I'm glad I met someone like you. This egg is home to only one Pokemon in the entirety of the game. Togepi. Togepi is a pure normal type, and its normal type in this generation. It is not until Generation 6 where it becomes a fairy type. Togepi itself is very special. It's one of the first egg Pokemon in the series, and it actually is quite useful in terms of battle, but it's not exactly going to be known for many good things until Togekiss shows up. So sadly, the best you can get is Togetic. So as it fully evolves, it becomes a special defensive Pokemon, decently bulky, very good at helping against other Pokemon as well. So besides that though, I will say outright, if you really want to raise one, be my guest. If you want an ability that you really want though, get Serene Grace instead of Hustle, because Hustle creates accuracy for power, while Serene Grace boosts the effects of moves. It is a better Pokemon than, say, Dunsparce, because it actually is able to utilize that dang special ability to its maximum degree, and it actually can take care of it. That's pretty much the main thing I want to say about that Pokemon, and to be honest, it's a very good Pokemon. It does take a while for eggs to hatch, however, there is a way to actually circumvent the eggs while I'm out of the bio. The egg itself can be hatched very quickly if you manage to have a Pokemon with Magma Armor. And if you have Flame Body combined with that, it decreases the amount of steps required to hatch an egg very quickly. In fact, that's actually a very good thing if you pick up a Slugma and decide to use it in order to do so. Honestly speaking, I will say outright that I have a lot of fond memories of Togepi because I did love that Pokemon back in the anime, and I do love it here. And honestly, I like any Togepi family line, especially when it gets Togekiss later in the series. Sadly, though, I can't exactly say it's useful before Generation 4, especially limited options and whatnot. It just doesn't do as much. So, besides that, Burrito Island has been defeated, and we pretty much got everything there done. There is still one more area we have not explored north of the labyrinth. I will probably cut ahead any battles I need to worry about, so be right back. Now I'm an idiot box. Honestly speaking, I think I should not worry about battles. Instead of just using Max Repel and getting it done with my life. I should probably buy some more Max Repels because I'm stupid. Of course. This labyrinth can be convoluted and confusing, and I honestly don't care. So let's go down the labyrinth and then go north of the labyrinth to head to Resort Gorgeous. There is some people here. Let's go talk to this girl. The angle is not quite there. Well, you're fighting me into a battle no matter what. Great. And Otis Pinto Reina sent out Smeargle. Smeargle's unique. It is a Pokemon that basically can learn any move. In fact, it's capable of using the move Sketch in order to copy any move, including signature moves. Like, for example, Smeargle has been known in the competitive community as the thing that shut down and destroyed Darkrai. Yeah, not exactly good. Oh, my feelings are blue. And frankly honest, I don't care for Smeargle because it did that to everyone. At that point, you could just redo Sketch and just say you cannot learn signature moves of Pokemon. Honestly speaking, I preferred that because, to be honest, it's one of the most annoying things in the game because if people want to use a Darkrai but can't get Darkrai to connect, then I don't see the reason that you ever use Darkrai. To be fair, though, there's not many ways to get Darkrai anymore in the actual series of the games because it's not exactly good. I'm missing my friend's request, if you know. So, besides that, though, I can't say there was any good about Smeargle. Anyway, ladies are, well, of course, ladies. They generally have a lot of money, so if you put a name like one of your Pokemon, it's actually a very good thing, so you can boost it money-wise. I don't really care for it because I have way too much money to deal with, thanks to me recklessly grinding up on that one spot back on First Island. Yeah, not exactly bad. Also, Skiploom. If they have a Skiploom, it's not exactly a bad thing. I should warn you all right now, if a lady or a gentleman survive with Pokemon with low HP, they essentially will have a full restore and heal with the HP of their Pokemon. They are known for this. Believe me, we've seen playthroughs of Emerald, and we've seen Chucka's playthrough of Emerald, where they use a full restore on a certain Pokemon. Anyway, Screech is a move that George is trying to learn, but it's not good. It doubles down on the defense drop, but it doesn't exactly do much, so we're not going to teach it stinking Screech, because I don't like Screech outright because of that. Decky. Oh my, so strong. Yes, 10,000 Poke for winning. Later generation games, yeah, they give you a lot of money. Anyway, I'm going to go and throw Drag in the front, and then I'm going to have Anarchy take the sidebar so that we can actually take care of these two trainers right here. Because they're going to challenge us in a double battle. This is my train to paint. Please keep it out of my sight. Oh, wait, they didn't. I was thinking Generation 3. Wait, I was thinking Emerald, in fact. Really, look at the battle, send out Smeargle. Yeah. A little annoyed that they didn't challenge me to a double battle, but I'm a little sad that they didn't. Let's try out Mega Horn, and it actually connected. Oh! To be perfectly honest, if I want to do Generation 2 in the future, I might go for the remake versus the original because twofold. One, you've seen a playthrough of Crystal. This is not exactly something I need to care about too much. And two, to be frankly honest, I don't care for it. Also, aren't you a trainer? Yeah, you are. I'm thinking of having a pool made especially for Pokemon. Okay, I guess he was way too far away to battle me at the same time. Another lady, Skillian, sent out Mareep. Mareep is a Johto Pokemon in the later games and is generally an electric type. Later games, Mareep is actually the opposite of most electric types though. It's not known for high speed like most electric Pokemon are known for, but it makes up for it by having a very good bulk and actually capable of hitting taking attacks very easily. Since she has 3 Pokemon, she's going to have only Mareep and Flaffy, not exactly any Ampharos here, though to be fair though. Ampharos is such a joy to see back in Johto games. To be honest, I've used an Ampharos. I'm pretty sure everyone has used Mareep in Johto games. It's actually very common to use. And especially in games like Pokemon Coliseum and XC, given the fact the limited options and the fact that, funnily enough, in Coliseum you have 3 options for an electric type. I am not kidding. 2 is like Shadow Pokemon, the other one is a free gift. The gift one is like one of the worst options you could possibly pick for an electric type, and its level is so low I would never recommend it in a playthrough. Oh my goodness gracious. A lot of money, not as much as last time, but it's good money nonetheless. There's somebody, a dang youngster around walking around. Let's go fight you, youngster. I'm good at runner. I'm really fast. Sonic speed. Couldn't resist. So, this youngster is known as Delson. Weird name. Raticate. Ah, great. I don't like Raticate. Let me guess. You did not go for a quick attack like I expected. That means you're doing one of the following. Yep, that's what I expected. Super Fang basically cuts the HP stat in half, like I previously explained, and it sucks. Believe me, it's actually quite useful in battles where you want to knock down the opponent's HP or try to catch Pokemon, given the fact that their level is going to be probably higher. And I'm definitely switching Anarchy up because, man, I don't want to get hit by that again. Sadly, though, that means Anarchy is going to be taking a break for a little bit. It's kind of sad that he is, but I can just go heal him off after the battle is over. Let's use Thunderbolt and Pidgeotto and just take care of business. Not exactly too worried, all things considered. So, besides this, though, 5 Islands is not exactly a long island. Honestly, it's one of the shorter islands in comparison. It's just one of the islands that you get less time to explore. Oops, I rushed things. Yes, indeed, you rushed things, indeed. Yes, quite. There is actually potentially an item around here, if I remember correctly. Maybe, possibly. Yes, there is, a beach. The beach has items for it, and like any beach, they usually hide in the sand. So let's go and go down this, and I found a Stardust. Quite useful for Pokemon that you need to sell for money and have money items. Ooh, there's another one around here. Let's go find it. Yes, quite. There is... Oh, no. Way too many spaces. Way too many spaces. I think it's around... Yes, it is. It is around here. I believe it's right here. Yes, another Stardust. So, yeah, it's another Stardust done, and we basically got all the Stardust in the area. There is a house here. First things first, still heal up Anarchy, because he needs a healing, and to be frankly honest, I'd rather not him having Eric. I like saying frankly honest way too much, but I can't exactly help it, because when I'm trying to explain something, I always say something like that in particular. This house belongs to Shelby's house. Let's go check out Shelby's house. There is nothing except a lot of fancy decor, if you may say. Maybe it's another lady. There is a lass over here that we can go talk to, and or painter probably, because I have not seen a lass in like a long time, and I'm pretty sure this is another painter. With these hands, I will create my victory! Yeah, send out the Smeargle already. I already know your song and dance, Daisy. Wait, Daisy? When did she get all the way from Oh, no, I'm kidding. Couldn't resist. So let's use Body Slam again, which is very powerful indeed. Honestly speaking, I'm not exactly concerned about it. Smeargle's not exactly known for offense. The only thing it's really known for is just catch. So yeah, level 54, very good. I don't need to worry about levels too much anymore. Your Daisy's defeated. A shame of this. I'm red-faced. She has red hair, so it makes sense. Oh, my paint tubes have scattered everywhere. Well, that's tragic. Any artist will probably very much want to make sure they are very careful about their art. So, besides that, though, this egg's not going to hatch for a while, so I can't exactly do anything about it. There is something on to the right if we go through this surfing area. To be blatantly honest, you want to be careful around this area because, of course, trainers. I guess marine life here at this resort agrees with me. So he likes the marine life. That means he likely has Pokemon from Johto, because a lot of the trainers here seem to have Pokemon from Johto or Kanto. Poliwhirl, not exactly new. If memory serves me correctly, this trainer actually does have an evolution of Poliwhirl that you cannot get in Kanto. This evolution requires you to trade with a King's Rock. Yeah, not kidding. Although it makes no sense in the anime, because apparently you need to just touch a King's Rock and you get the dang Pokemon. Sadly though, it might not be the case because, frankly honest, stupid Tentacles. I don't really like Tentacle when it's just like you're fighting against it. You love it when you have the Pokemon itself, because that means you have a special wall that blocks a lot of attacks. Yeah, it's just one of those cases. I just don't care for it. And of course there's a Tentacruel. I am not risking Anarchy last time. I made a terrible mistake. So let's get Tentacruel out of the way and use Thunderbolt again. I highly doubt I'm going to get another critical, but I definitely would appreciate it given the fact Tentacruel is a bit bulky for my liking. And it actually knocked it out one shot without needing to worry about it. Thank goodness, because I did not want to deal with this thing. Alright, that's a lot of experience. Toby's been defeated. That's a shocker. You must be joking. No, I'm not. Also, you are very much broke. And I'm going to use another Repel again. It's my last one. I'm just going to go back to 5 Island later and just get another Repel. So let's go and get to this dang building here, or rather this dang place, because it's actually quite important, because over here, This is the Lost Cave. Lost Cave is, well, complex and pattern heavy. In fact, I'd say outright, out of all the caves, it's probably the most complex. So there are 2 new Pokemon based on the Pokemon you have, and there's Rock. I thought this was an ancient room, but it was teeming of ghosts. Yes, indeed. So let's talk about the Pokemon while we were talking about this fight, and he's a maniac, lunar maniac, whatever. So besides that, there's 2 new Pokemon based on the version you have. For Pokemon players who are playing the Fire Red player, well, Fire Red version, of course. I don't know why I'm tripping my own words about that one. But if you're playing Fire Red, you get the Pokemon known as Murkrow. Sadly, no evolution in this game, so yeah, you're kind of stuck with the Murkrow permanently, and you can't exactly evolve it. It's not exactly that good yet until it gets full evolution. Yeah, not exactly a good Pokemon, and I'll be very blatantly honest, it's not exactly known for being very good in terms of battle yet. Yeah, the Honchkrow is probably the best option you have for Murkrow, and it's just generally very generic, very painfully average Dark Flying type, not exactly known for much. The opposite game you get for LeafGreen players at 5% encounter rate, same as the Murkrow encounter rate, I forgot, is a Pokemon known as Mischievous, a pure Ghost type. Unlike Gengar, though, having pure Ghost type is far better, given the fact that 1, you're not weak to the type that you're supposed to be super effective against, and 2, the moves it has is actually decently more worth it, given the fact that it's a special offensive Pokemon, but has more physical offense than Gengar does. Yeah, I like ripping on Gengar, but this is just sad. Although, fair though, this entire cave is just generic and base. The way you can say about it. Hey, Mercy. Anyway, let's go, and now we're done talking about the Pokemon in this cave. No Miss Magius in this generation, so don't bother. Now, this place is interesting. Let's use a full restore on Glimmer because I'm going to need that for now. And because I want to get rid of the paralysis. You technically can go in any order you so wish. If you go north, you head back to the beginning again. Trying to get out of here, but I always end up in the same spot. Maybe the number of boulders is a hint. It is indeed a hint. Technically speaking, there are at least 5 items in this cave if you go in certain routes. I'll be blatantly honest with you. Use him as the way of getting across. So, let's go and put Glimmer in the front just in case. I don't want to accidentally run into a counter battle. But there is a pathway. Go east, left, and then go south next. And it's nothing. I'm gonna get out of here, but I always end up in the same spot, and I keep getting the wrong one. I forgot east is right instead of left. Good job, me. Then go south here. There's an item here containing a Lax Incense. Lax Incense is interesting. All it does is basically do the following. It basically reduces the flow's accuracy. Really useful to have, especially because I was thinking of different incense as well, but incenses are quite interesting in comparison. Once you lead the wrong way, you basically go back around in a circle. Yeah, pretty much. Instead, you want to go east next, north next, then you want to go south next, and then north again. There's another item here. This is containing a Sea Incense. It's the same thing, but stronger for water types. So I want to go back in that same pathway again, because we went south last time, and actually we want to go that way next. So let's go east again, north again, south again, and there's a little girl here. I think there's a mysterious power working to this cave, and she fights us. Yep. There are trainers here, and they generally have been lost. This is a psychic. You don't really see psychics often, so yeah, they technically have Pokemon known as Natu, which is a Hoenn Pokemon. Yeah, Natu is, well, it's a psychic flying type. It's not as good as, say, a super legendary one. Besides that, though, it's very painfully generic, and all it knows is how to do future reading and whatnot. Exatu is essentially, or rather, Xatu is the actual name of the Pokemon, is more of a Pokemon that's, well, painfully average compared to Psychic types. Honestly, there's better Psychic types out there than Exatu or Xatu. Yeah, not exactly a Pokemon I'd really worry about all that much, given the fact that Xatu is just painfully average. And she sent out her last Natu. I don't know why she bothered using her strongest now rather than later, but hey, do what you do. So besides that though, let's just go and eat this Thunderbolt. Yeah, the more pathways you get right and the more you get wrong, the more items you can collect. And I'd frankly recommend it because of that. So besides that though, it's pretty much done and we are leveling up to 57. We are actually getting closer to 60, which is a good baseline for later. Although Tank is very under-leveled. If you don't go in the right tunnel, you won't get ahead. He is not wrong. You want to go in the right tunnels, otherwise you're screwed. The number of boulders actually tells you which way you want to go. Although it's quite odd. It's based on rotation of the clock position. 3 would be east, 6 would be south, 9 would be west, and 12 would be north. Technically speaking, since it says 6, you want to go south. And since there's actually rocks of 3, that means you want to go east. And then I'm going to make a mistake on this room on purpose by going east again. Because there's an item here containing a max revive. Really useful. And back to square one we go. East. North. South. South. East. And then this is a rock number of 9. 9 would be south, so south. And then we went wrong way. Dang it! I forgot. I mixed up 12. North, south, south. Then east again. Then you want to go west. And then you want to go south. And then you want to, instead going east, you want to go west. Because there's an item here containing a rare candy. Very useful. I'm going to save these rare candies for tank. So, back to square one once again. There. 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 And then there. And then there. And then 9 is west again. And then 6 is one of the weirder ones. Yeah, it's honestly one of the weirder ones to go through repeatedly. It's not exactly fun to keep going through caves and whatnot. Repel's effect wore off. Thanks for distracting me, game, by getting Repel's effect wore off. Thanks, game. I really needed that. Anyway, right. And then there's a big room, which is interesting because 12 is north, so north we go. This person is missing and lost. What do you intend to do with me? Well, this is another lady, what you say, and she's a lady that's lost. Lady Sophie sends out Persian. Persians are quite powerful. Honestly speaking, they are the same moveset of all Persians. I might as well say the moveset's outright Taunt, Bite, Torment, Payday. Yeah, and the other one has Scratch instead of Bite. Yep, not exactly that concerned. If you brought a Pokemon with the move Covet or Thief, you can actually steal a nugget from each of them. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's actually pretty funny. But besides that, though, nothing really to say about this Pokemon. Honestly, it's very, 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 very easy to understand. And as you can play well, you see the full restore. Yep, pretty much. Any lady known their salt will always have a full restore, no matter what you do. Getting lost for 5 seconds sucks. So, besides that, though, let's go use Ice Beam and take care of this Persian. Not exactly too concerned about this Persian entirely, and there should be another Persian that we have to worry about. Besides that, though, I think George will get some experience in this fight because George is actually the lowest level, but he's going to get experience because, of course, normal types are weak to fighting. I do have decisions making. I need to get better at certain decision making when it comes to team members, to be honest. George feels so out of place when you have a Pokemon that you can learn fight techniques when they're all so different type, but I like the stab damage, which is what something I care about more. So, Lady Sophie's defeated? Oh, I was afraid that you meant to harm me. 9,800 for winning. I'm so glad that you happened here. I grew rather bored of walking and I was feeling rather frustrated. I asked you to take me home from here? Indeed. Her home is right here. Thank you. You may go now. Oi! Let's go talk to Sophie. Oh, do I know you from somewhere? Oh, but that doesn't matter. I'm exquisitely bored. Please hear my wish. I wish to see a Pokemon. A darling Nidorina. I want to see one right away. Please make my wish come true. So, by going to, well, if you have the Pokemon in question and getting back there again, best case scenario, I recommend flying immediately so you don't use up steps. If you reach a certain point of 200 steps, you run out of steps. Yeah, not fun. It's not exactly a fun thing to do. You want to make sure you have the, well, best chance you got. If you got the Pokemon in question, I recommend bringing the Pokemon to them. So let's go and get this item out of their question, Bill's PC, and let's go and get that Nidorina out of the PC box, because I know I have one, because I was going after dang items. Let's go ahead and put Nidorina in the box. I think I'm going to put... Yeah, I think I'm going to put Sparky in there for now, because I don't need Sparky right now, and Frankly honest, I don't want to waste my time having too many Pokemon in this route, and I frankly want to. Let's go back to Sylphie. I'll cut ahead to Sylphie. Be right back. 250 steps is the maximum you need to get, so yeah, let's just go back there, and I wish I had more max repels. So, yeah, that's not fun. So, yeah, it's kind of sucky. You can't actually fly back to Sylphie, which is the worst thing about it. I recommend that you have the items in question, or the Pokemon in question, and we're good. We're gorgeous again. Back quickly. Darn it! We're back now with Nidorina, so... Oh, hello there. Oh my gracious, that must be the Nidorina you caught from me. Giggle, I see a resemblance to you. Thank you kindly. Is something the matter? You may leave. Oh, fine, I understand now. Sebastian, I need you here this instant. Yes, my lady. See to that this person is given a token of appreciation. I shall do as you bid, my lady. Now, there's a lot of items you can get from this one. I sincerely thank you for pleasing my lady Sylphie. Please accept this as her thanks. Luxury Ball is the more common option you get. Luxury Ball is interesting. Unlike most Pokeballs, this is actually a unique one because it can actually increase the friendship amount that you have for your Pokemon when you catch them. This is actually good for Pokemon that, well, either have low friendship or Pokemon that evolve by friendship. I would recommend it, and if you want to reset that entire thing, you can go back in and out and talk to her again. Oh, do I know you from somewhere? And she'll keep the same thing, and please see the Pokemon Hoot. We have no way of getting Hoot. So, yeah, that's unfortunate, but I got lucky with the Nidorina, but she can have any of the Pokemon in the National Pokedex. I am not kidding. That makes her probably very complex and a headache. Hoot by itself is not easy to find. Honestly speaking, I don't think you can find it in this game. So, yeah, there's that involved. Hoot is not accessible to you for a while. So, besides that, though, yeah, I just have a headache when it comes down to certain things, and frankly, it pisses me off too much. But though, I think we're done for now with this island entirely. 5 islands pretty much been done. We need to find the password for the next one. So, that's pretty much all that we can say about this island, and that's pretty much it. So, let's go and heal up. Go to here. And catch every single Pokemon. How incredible. Please tell me to catch a strong one. Well, I have a strong one in my party, so let's get our party back to normal. Let's get back to that Sparky, because we're going to need Sparky in case of emergency, especially in case we catch Pokemon again. Alright, so let's get Sparky out, get the arena pet back in. I want to keep the egg with me until it hatches, because I'd rather do that so we can actually get it out of the way. So there's that. How close are we to catching this thing, getting this thing hatched? It should hatch soon, so it's occasionally moving, so it's actually the 2nd level. If it was the 3rd level, it should be shaking rapidly, and it will say it's hatching soon. Hatching really soon, in fact. So instead, let's go and go this one and go to the next island. So where do you want to go? I want to go to 6th Island. All aboard! On to 6th Island is home to more things available to us, and I'd recommend it. But, honestly, I think we'll stop here for today. Next time on Pokemon LeafGreen, we'll be exploring 6th Island and seeing what it has to offer. See you all next time!